Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm your host, King X, and this is the King X Podcast. Today we had Smackdown came live from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, which it was very, very stacked. And by the way, before I even get into this recap, on at the end of Raw, I'm going to be doing Raw recaps. At the end of SmackDown, I'm going to be doing SmackDown recaps as well as PLEs. In between that, I will be doing my random thoughts or anything that's going on in WWE, whether it's headlines or anything like I did the Unreal, or if I'm doing like the joint merger with ESPN. That episode should be coming soon. Those will be in between the actual shows. No, I will not be doing NXT just because I don't have the time to do, all three main shows per week. So I just want to kind of get that out the way. So let's get back into SmackDown. So tonight on SmackDown, SmackDown was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And it was very, very, very stacked night. We had big drama backstage. We had some big wins. We had John Cena's emotional moment. Jay Cargill laid down a challenge. And even Carmelo Hayes made an appearance, which is kind of ironic because you don't really see him on TV, which I don't know why. And I actually tweeted about that. So stick around to the end for my full Clash in Pairs predictions, because some of these feuds, as you can see, they're going to be pretty crazy. So basically, we kick off things with John Cena getting one of the loudest ovations when he came out. And by the way, I love how they continued the whole dark screen John Cena Titantron for his entrance. And then boom, right when he comes out, you get all the color and everything like that. It's almost like you get two pops. So basically, Montreal was just going crazy with that. And Cena got to talk about things that he was afraid of, his fears and stuff like that, which one included Brock Lesnar. And he quickly came back and he was on his whole hustle, loyalty, and respect, and was basically telling him, I might fear Brock Lesnar, but he ain't scared of Brock Lesnar. And there's a difference between that. So John Cena basically told him, if you want some, come get some. And then right when he was getting in the thick of that whole, laying out the challenge for pretty much anybody who wanted some, Logan Paul came out, which I get it, but I don't. Y'all were just partners over at what was it, Saturday night main event. But now that John Cena is a face again, well, that means Logan Paul can come out and challenge him to whatever match he wants, because Logan Paul is still a heel. But it looks like it was just a setup. Basically, Drew McIntyre comes up from behind, attacks John Cena, and that brought out Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came out to save John Cena, and John Cena basically just kind of threw his weight around, was like, hey, if you want a match, we can do something. And Logan Paul was like, yeah, let's have a match. John Cena versus Logan Paul, but not in Montreal. So, of course, Montreal gets a little, boo or whatever like that, because, of course, they want to see that match. But he was like, you know what? I'd rather do that in Paris. So let's have Logan Paul versus John Cena Clash in Paris, which is at the end of this month. So they made that official. Before it's Montreal, John Cena said, well, let's have a match tonight. Me and you. And then I think it was Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. So it was a 2-on-2 match. John Cena, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. So, which I'll get into that match later on. So, but that was the beginning of the show, and that's kind of what started things off. And then, so the opening match, as we move forward, was Motor City Machine Guns versus MFT, which that match was okay. Basically, it was a good back and forth, but MFT was on a serious roll right now, which basically that's just telling you that they're going to I would say they're, let's just say they're looking for tag team gold pretty soon. You know, they kind of have to establish themselves. They're with Solo. I don't see them taking too many losses with anybody. I can see Solo keeping the belt and the MFTs getting tag team titles, especially since the tag team division is just so up in arms right now. You don't know who's going to be champion from week to week. So I can see MFTs getting those titles and then it kind of being like a whole new bloodline full of gold, which I would have any problem with that. You know, it looked good for Solo. It looked good for the whole squad. So, but with that, Tala Tonga, I think is his name. He hits a monstrous choke slam for the win. Solo comes out after the match talking about MFT taking the tag team title soon. So it pretty much felt like I said, like a Bloodline 2.0. But then right as Solo is bragging, he's like, "Oh, I ain't got nobody to fight. Let's go out and celebrate, but let's not celebrate in Montreal. Let's go somewhere else and let's get out of this city or whatever like that." GM Nick Aldis comes out and was like, "Oh, you're not going nowhere." And what happens? We get a huge hometown surprise from none other than Sami Zayn, which is kind of ironic because these two have a lot of history too, with Sami Zayn and Solo being in the original bloodline. You know, he was an honorary Uso. So, like I said, these two come out, make a surprise match for Montreal. The crowd is losing it. Despite interference from MFT, Sammy counters a Samoan spike and gets a roll up pin for the win. They get a huge pop, and basically it was a clean win over Solo. Solo has the title, but I think the hometown crowd was in. They were into Sami Zayn getting that win, so Sami Zayn won. Moving forward, Charlotte Bliss. This was basically a birthday celebration for Alexa Bliss, whose actual birthday is August 9th. So Alexa Bliss, happy birthday. She'll be having her birthday tomorrow. So Charlotte felt like, all right, let's do something. And she brought out a cake. But not only did she bring out a cake, there was some playful banter, a Lily doll callback, and a new Charlie doll as a gift. Bliss looks amused, but as you can see, the tension under the surface could be setting up some tag team drama down the line. But with that being said, they got interrupted by Chelsea Green and her private security, or whoever the ladies call themselves. But yeah, Chelsea Green comes out, and then Nick Aldis basically comes out and make another match. He was busy all night, let me tell you. He comes out, make another match with them, and Charlotte Flair gets the win via tap out from Chelsea Green. But before that, Chelsea got a little cake on her face, which was pretty funny. So that was Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, the whole birthday chaos situation. Then we go backstage to Jay Cargill, Tiffany Stratton. Basically, Tiffany was shooting a promo, basically just saying, "Hey, this is my league now. I've beaten this person. I've beaten that person. I don't really have to prove myself. I'm going to be the champ for a while." Out comes Jay Cargill, basically saying, if you would have never, put your foot on that rope back at SummerSlam, I would have had you. I would have been the champion. That would have been my goal and all that. And so what I got from this part was, I think Tiffy is going to hold on to this title until probably WrestleMania, if not longer than that. But I'm giving her to WrestleMania. Jade might be coming back down to earth. And what I mean by that is she might be coming back to United States champion. Just put some gold on her. Give her the solo route, Solo Sikoa route. Maybe she's not world championship material right now, but throw on a U.S. title. Zelina Vega had it. I'm sorry, I said that. Zelina Vega had it. There's people who've Intercontinental U.S., especially the U.S. title, because that seemed to just get thrown around to everybody. Becky Lynch is holding down that Intercontinental, but yeah, throw that on her because I feel like she's good enough. She's just not there yet. You put a U.S. title on her, gives it some value. You know, Julia does have it, which is a good segue because Julia was backstage as well with her manager or whatever. Um, Manager gives Cargill her card, like, hey, hit me up if you looking to try to get some gold. As you can see with Julia, who I represent, I can get you some gold too. Which Jay was like, okay, this is beneath me. And then out comes what's her name? Um I can't remember her name. That's gonna be terrible. But basically Jay Cargill seems like she's come down a notch. And I don't know what's gonna be next for her. I don't know. Do she need Bianca again? I don't know. Um, but moving forward, there was also another backstage segment with Carmelo Hayes and The Miz. Okay, let's get into it. Carmelo. I don't know what's going on with Carmelo. I don't know why he doesn't get TV time. I understand why Miz don't. He's a part-time veteran. But Carmelo has so much potential. He has the look. He has the charisma. He's a great heel. Um, I don't understand. I literally do not understand. I don't know what Triple H is doing. I don't know if he's being forgotten. I don't know if there's not enough time. If you need another hour, because I think Raw, SmackDown is from 8 to 10, send him to Raw where you got 3 hours to do something with him. But I hate to see it for him. But basically, this backstage segment was, I think Carmelo wanted to have a United States Championship match. And Miz was like, yo, slow down. It don't work like that. So he ended up getting him a tag team match for next week. And yeah, so we'll see about that. But it looked like he wasn't really feeling that. And then we get to the main event, which is Cody Rhodes and John Cena versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. This match was cool. It was very high energy, a lot of big spots. Um, Cena and Cody worked pretty well together. You would have thought that they were an actual tag team, but it was pretty good. Cody started the match off. He basically kind of carried the match for the most part, and then that's when John Cena came in and kind of cleaned up everything and showed everybody why he's the GOAT. You can tell Montreal, the whole crowd kind of felt like, damn, this is going to be the last time we see John Cena. So he really put on a show. He kept reminding them, this is my last time. This is my last time. One more time, you know. Um, but the match ends in disqualification via, you know, Logan Paul hitting, I think it was Cody Rhodes in the jewels. And that's when all hell broke loose. John Cena and Logan Paul's in the back. They fight in the back. And then next thing you know, Drew McIntyre and Cody is still out there. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Cody gets hit with his own WWE title by Drew McIntyre. Now Cody's on the ground. And then a Claymore through the table by Drew McIntyre. Like his head just Claymore just boom through the whole table. And then you can see Drew McIntyre taking the belt and just kind of like with it in his face, saying whatever. You couldn't really hear it, but he was basically talking shit to Cody under the table. And then it cuts off. So, like I said, that's pretty much like I think we only had like 4 matches, which is crazy, over 2 hours, and a whole bunch of backstage segments. But my overall thought of this night for SmackDown, I would say, the good spots were Cena and the emotional connection with the crowd early on. Sami Zayn getting the big win in his hometown over Solo Sikoa was huge. MFTs, like I said, they're making their rise up to that tag team title spot. No solo, no Jacob Fatu. We didn't get to see Jacob tonight. I thought we would have saw Jacob. We didn't get to see Brock Lesnar tonight. That was somebody else that I thought would have probably popped up, but it's Brock Lesnar. If he's gonna pop up somewhere, it's gonna be Clash in Paris or something like that, but not tonight. Um, Basically, some seeds were planted in the women's division with Cargill, Stratton, and Julia. And Hayes got more TV time and character development, basically. So I guess he got to be on TV. Uh, it kind of an episode that makes Clash and Paris feels like a can't miss show rather than another stop on the calendar. Just because you got John Cena on this card with the Logan Paul, um, I don't think Cody. I don't know. I don't know if Cody makes this trip. I'm sure he'll be there, but when you got Cena's, which is going to be the main event, it seems like I don't know where you put Cody in this, even though he's the world champion. But I'm sure they would want him in Paris. But they got John Cena, so it's like it is what it is. So my predictions for Clash in Paris, I think Logan Paul. Excuse me. I think Logan Paul wins. Only reason why is because I think this is where John Cena will put him over, and John Cena is huge when it comes to putting people over. He don't care. He don't mind it. So I see Logan Paul winning this. I don't know if cleanly, but I see him winning. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre is the match I think might happen. And the reason why I say that is because of what happened tonight, which is him getting Claymore through a table. And the way that Drew McIntyre was holding the title, it almost make you feel like they're ready to kind of like tease a championship match with those two. But if that does happen, of course I got Cody winning. He's the face of the company. He's not going nowhere. Jade and Tiffany. I don't really see a rematch. I don't think so. It's possible, but I don't think so. And we could possibly see Charlotte and Alexa face, who is that? Roxanne Perez. And, her partner, what is her name again? Um, Damn, what is her name? Um, from Judgment Day, Roxanne, and I can't remember her name, but you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I can see them possibly getting a rematch, but I will keep the titles on Alexa and Charlotte again. So we'll see. Other than that, that is episode number 3. Don't forget to like, comment, and please subscribe to the channel. It only helps me with the algorithm when you like and when you comment and, tell me if I'm doing a good job, if I'm doing a bad job, if there's something you want me to talk about, if there's a prediction you want me to talk about, anything like that, let me know. Hit your boy up. This is episode 3, Smackdown Recap. I am your host, King X. This is the King X Podcast, and I will see you next time.